Hello, everyone. Welcome. Hi, Miguel.
Hi, everyone.
How are you?
Very good.
Perfect. So welcome, everyone, to this first Masters Extra session. How we said before, we will be today with Miguel Peco. He is Director of Business Development at Block Native. You should have seen him before on the pre-recorded videos that we share regarding the introduction to blockchain and blockchain use cases. So today we will cover, he will do a recap of what you already saw, and then you can go ahead and ask questions regarding the lessons. So we just want to remind you that to be able to get the final certification in Masters and join us with the hiring session, all of the features that we have on Masters tab, including networking, you need to see 80% of the recorded lessons, do 80% of the assessment tests that you should receive. So today you will receive the first one and you have until Thursday to complete it. And then you have to do the project work and get the final exam. So if Miguel, you're ready, then I leave the floor to you, and welcome again, everyone.
Yes, I'm ready. Welcome all. Thank you very much for being here. It's completely a pleasure, as always. I'm gonna share my screen. Okay, I don't know if it's working. Sorry. Okay, yeah. I've prepared. I've prepared a presentation, a very quick recap. The idea for me today, okay, I don't know why is here. Okay, I'm gonna open it again. The idea for me today is to do a recap, a quick recap in order to go through the questions that you have been seeing during the presentation, during the both class that we have. Okay, so I'm gonna stop sharing. I don't know why it's working so bad. As I said, sorry, only one sec. Screen. Okay, I don't know. Can you see the PDF, Joan? Sorry.
Yes, we can see the PDF. Maybe you can put it on a full screen mode.
Yeah. Okay, but the PDF. I don't know why the presentation is. It has been moving there, and I cannot believe that. It's so horrible. Okay, but the PDF. Well, okay, I'm gonna start. It's not okay. Okay, the idea is to do a very quick recap, guys. Very quick recap from the two other classes that we have done in the last 2 weeks. First of all, as we say, the idea with me was to introduce you a little bit of blockchain, always from a business perspective, always also trying to give you some specific knowledge of the main basic components of the very basic areas that you need to know in order to understand what the technology is. And in the second model, we have seen a lot of different real use cases that we have been performed. In my case, in Cognitive, and some of them that they are real cases that I really know from competitors or other companies. Okay, a quick recap. We already went through the other day. It was a little bit of the definition of the blockchain. As we saw, is a common database where all the transactions are happening while are being certified in a very secure database. Going through a little bit, I recap this slide. I recovered this slide from the first introduction. I really liked the example that I gave it to you on my first class regarding the wedding. I think the wedding is a very good case in order to explain blockchain for those people who don't really understand. Why I'm saying that is because it's an event where a lot of people are taking place. You have the main ones, which is the bride and the groom, the prior, and all the different participants who are the guests. Everything that is happening will be the different milestones that is going to be certified by all the different participants. And everything is going to be secure because all the information is going to be registered in every participant and every guest of the wedding. Other and very important thing is the second point, types of network. It's very important to understand that there is 4 different types of network, but nowadays the most common them, they are the private and the public ones. And I recover also this this slide from the previous course to give you for me, the most important thing that you need to understand is depending on the use case, you will use one blockchain or other. Because if you are using, as we saw in the course, those public chains, the cost can be very high and doesn't goes with your business plan, your business case, then it doesn't have made sense. But maybe in that case, a private hyperlayer, for example, network could be very interesting to start using. However, if you are in a B2C use case, maybe if we are talking about NFTs, for example, an hyperlayer network, maybe it could be less interesting that if you go or to Ethereum or to a second layer as Polygon or other different. Then the conclusion for me is you need to analyze which is the use case that you are going to perform. And depending on the use case, you will decide which network. And of course, you can combine it. You can do most of the work for example, on a layer fabric. And for specific things within the case, you will register on the public blockchain. The third are the capabilities and benefits. This is very important because not only the capabilities for me is 100% the benefits. This technology, depending on the use case that you are looking for and why you want to use blockchain, the benefits will be more or less important. In that case, I recover this slide. The most important thing is to understand that blockchain, when you have a real use case, as we saw on the course, that there are more participants, you want to share information with third parties, then you decided to use blockchain. And because you decided to use blockchain, then it's very important to say, okay, now I have decided already to use this kind of technology, which is going to be my benefits. My benefit is because of the use of blockchain, I'm going to be able to have the end-to-end traceability. I'm going to be very efficient. That means that I may reduce some of the teams or some of the work performed by my teams, depending on the use case, from 30 to 50, 60%. Everything is going to be very secure in a technology that nowadays is 100% secure and no one did hack it. All the data, we call it trusted data because I'm not going to be in charge from all the data that is going to be registered on the blockchain, that every participant is going to register their data, then it's going to give me the opportunity to have in real time those data that I'm going to be able to analyze in order to understand how efficient, for example, could be my real process at the moment. If I need to change something on the process, it's going to be very compliant with the regulation, give you the opportunity to have everything completely digital. And I'm going to join this slide with the next one. It's going to help me to use different technology. It's a technology that you can match. Sorry, here I will change before sending it to. You can change with AI, IoT, and big data. You can connect, you can join them, and you will make your use case more powerful and more efficient in order to solve the business problem that you are looking for. As I've already said, how a participant can connect, something very important is everyone is thinking that blockchain is a nightmare, is something very difficult. When I'm facing a lot of clients, those clients are telling me, well, but I'm not prepared for that. Okay, we have different opportunities to start being connected with a blockchain network, only with an API and the smart contract. You can have your own peer. Then the most important thing is, depending your technological maturity, you will be able to collaborate on the process from one phase to a lot of different phases. And to finish, I gave you my understanding of what is happening in the market nowadays with the blockchain world. We identified the different ICOs, what is an ICO, and the crypto world related to the exchange, where you can have your own wallet and the trading in the cryptocurrency, different cryptocurrency. We saw what it was what it is, the NFTs. As a conclusion, from my point of view, that I wanted to highlight it to you again, is that NFT could make sense, but not all the NFTs are, from my point of view, relevant. But if you are able to look for a good utility for the market, then an NFT, it would make sense and it will keep in the market. Despite that, a lot of part of the population thinks that NFT is something completely stupid and they are not going to be really, they're not going to have a place in the market right now. And we saw the last B2B and B2C use cases. And that's as I try to explain you, like, from 7 to 90 different use cases, very completely use cases, because I wanted you to have a wide, and you can really open your eyes and your mind, and to have a wide different use cases in order to understand how the blockchain can help to the market. And we saw like cases for the reversal logistics, supply chain, tax and regulation traceability. That was, if you don't remember, something related to Mexico regarding the invoices that someone is issuing in real time with the government. They can have the traceability in the same moment. This use case that it was a little bit different, no? If we understood and we analyzed the price and discount update in a company, taking into account how the different smart contract can help me to automatize in real time all my different applications. The router and asset traceability that we can have from the agro or router on the telco. We also went through to the onboarding or supplier certification, and in the last time something more for the Europe countries, the consent management traceability in order to be compliant with the GDPR law. But that I know that this case is more specific. You can use for other countries, but it's more specific in Europe due to the more restricted GDPR law that we have in Europe. But as I said, I want you to have these kind of use cases to really understand how blockchain can help. And doesn't matter, as you can see, which is the sector or which is the use case. We can find a use case very useful where this technology can do a lot of good things and helps companies to or increase their business or to be more efficient. And of course, also they can have more strategic business decision in order to expand, because you can be and you can have an ecosystem more trusted with your different suppliers. And yeah, and that was the recap that I wanted you to have. And now I'm here if you have any question. Okay. You're free to ask questions. I'm going through the chat, okay, and I will see the different question. Hi, my question is why is saying, okay, hi, my question is regarding the career opportunities post completing this program. Okay, this question is not for me. I don't know if some of the participants, again, I can answer this question, but not from the program thing. I think nowadays the Web3 projects, blockchain, and this world is increasing a lot. The opportunities, we are growing so fast. A lot of things are happening, and every day everything is changing, everything is growing. Then I would be very sure that there will be a lot of opportunities. Okay, does blockchain knowledge plus additive enough become a blockchain developer? But if I want to answer to Muhammad, sorry, as I said, I'm the director of a company of blockchain. I'm more focusing on developing business, but I would say that as we saw in the course, there are two main different languages. You have Solidity and Go. Go is for the hyperlayer part. That is hyperlayer fabric, for example, is the most common use for enterprise business use cases, and Solidity is for the real world. Then if you know really how to use and to develop smart contracts in Solidity, you will have a good chance to start a new job in this real world, because as my experience, there is not too many people who really know how to do those smart contracts. And I'm not talking about the easy ones. I'm talking about the very important ones, and the ones that maybe that you are looking to start moving money from one side to another. Then it's something quite difficult. How challenging it is to go with this fast-paced technology, because this thing, yes, as I say, how challenging, but it's, for me, I wouldn't use the word challenge. I would use the word, I mean, I'm very thank you for that, because every day I'm learning things. I do not get bored. But the truth is that you have to study a lot every day. You have to have a real roadmap to understand which is and to focus on a specific place, because blockchain, as I said, there is a lot of different worlds in the same world. But if you are able to focus on your roadmap and you understand how the technology is changing, you really, it's very interesting, because every day you are learning a lot of things. The access to blockchain, could you go through the difference between the three in the test? I have the access to blockchain. Joanna, what do you mean exactly with you have regarding access to blockchain? As I say, for example, if you want to go to the public one, you need a wallet. A wallet, you can create a wallet, your own wallet, from a lot of different companies. The most common one is called MetaMask, and with those MetaMask, it will be directly connected to a specific network, a public network, or you can have, for example, in your exchange. And if we are talking about the private ones, you need a user and a password, as someone needs to give you access for the ecosystem. Yes, there are too many blockchains, and one of the main things that a lot of people are working on is the interoperability between them. As I said, there are already some we call bridges that allows you to communicate, for example, hyperlayer to Ethereum, but it's something that they are trying to work in order to make it more efficient and more wide, and with a lot of more different blockchains. According to me, the next innovation product to be using blockchain, and how can not tech people get involved creating this app? Well, I think when you say Web3 could be metaverse, then I think this is a real different world. My next innovation product, I'm not gonna say, I think it's not going to be a product. It can be a lot of products. For example, we have 3 different products, and the base, the structure is similar, because all of them, the main important thing is the traceability. But depending on which use case you are focusing, for example, in energy certification of the energy, the green energy, or a lot of things, then the product will be different.
Yeah, I'm sorry to interrupt you. Could you make sure to read the question as a whole, since not everyone can see it?
Okay, yeah, I'm trying. Okay.
Yeah, thank you.
Can blockchain be used to conduct election? Yes, of course, but the answer from my personal opinion is they are not doing right now, not because blockchain is not capable of. This is another reason why politics they do not want, because it is true that you should invest a lot of money, but from a point of view, money that you will recover at least in Spain, in a few elections. However, also it is done because they said that maybe all people, they are not for them it's going to be very difficult to use the technology, and this is the main reason they say they don't use it. But of course, blockchain can be conducted, all the elections can be conducted by blockchain. Is there any use case related to the communication reconciliation in the project that we are going to work with? I said, and I explained on the second class, the router traceability, where a telecom company was able to trace the router from the day he buy it and from the day that the client will return to it. A question from Peco then. Can we see a serious replacement of Web 2 over Web 3 and a major adoption of blockchain application? And can someone really dedicate her coming 10, 20 years? And is there any possibility for a better tech than blockchain in coming years? Well, both answer will be yes. First of all, Web 3 is going to replace Web 2. I don't know if now or in a couple of years, but yes, it's going to be a replacement. And of course, I think you can dedicate yourself in the next 10, 20 years. And the second question, I would say yes. Is there any possibility for a better tech than blockchain coming years? Maybe, but blockchain, from my point of view, is going to be massive. Blockchain at the moment, it didn't explode. It will be massive in the coming years. Then we need to have more maturity in the blockchain. And maybe, of course, the technology is evolving every day. Maybe there would be another one. In the slide about agro and B2B onboarding, is it an already implemented? Yes. In Spain, we have a few ones. And yes, not only from, in my case, I have one, but also from companies as IBM, they already have a couple of ones. Okay, I downloaded the PDF, and when I open it, my virus protection gave a warning. Okay.
That was for us.
Okay, yeah, I am reading all of them, sorry.
No, that's fine.
In which app we use blockchain, live fintech application, except fintech, where is blockchain is useful? Yeah, as I said, for me, fintechs and payments, blockchain use cases, it's a different world that, for example, in my case, I'm not performing. I'm performing those as we saw, those the reversal logistics, supply chain, all the traceability in a specific process are not related to the payments. What is essential to work as a project manager in blockchain solutions coming from the supply chain sector? Also, do you apply concept of self-sovereign identity in Blocknative's project? Okay, what is the work? Well, first of all, in order to work as a project manager in blockchain solutions, for me, two important things is, or you know the technology or you know the business. If you are coming from the supply chain sector and you already know the business, this is a good start. And of course, later on, you need to understand how the blockchain can help those companies to make them business more efficient. Because at the end, blockchain is a backend technology, okay? It is made to make businesses, in that case, more efficient. And yes, we apply the concept of self-sovereign identity, but as I said, depending on the use case. In business perspective, to be able to call a smart contract, you need to pay for the gas fee, or how can you manage? In business perspective, depending on the use case and depending on the network that you are using for the use case, you will pay for the gas. If you are using ethereum, whatever public layer, or ethereum, Polygon, Matic, or Binance, for example, there's some examples, you will pay the gas. If you are using, for example, hyperlayer fabric, you are not going to pay the gas because it's working in a different way. It is necessary to be a full stack web developer to be a successful blockchain developer, because that is the requirement of the job I see on LinkedIn in this area. From my point of view, I don't think you need to be a full stack web developer. However, it will help a lot, because at the end, blockchain is backend and you can perform a lot, but all companies and all use cases would need this web in order to monitorize, and this web that the front, those people who develop on the front side, it will be needed. Then it is true that if you are full stack, it would be easier for the company, it would be better for the company, but you can be an expert on developing different smart contracts, and you don't need to develop the other part of the project, and someone from your team can do it. How blockchain can work with IoT, like any real world scenario? Yes, of course. As I said, blockchain is the platform where the information is coming. It can come from an application, it can come from IoT, it can be I don't know, GPS, can be temperatures, whatever. For example, in Blocknative, we have a real use case of certification of the green energy, where one of the data is coming from an IoT. It is true that a lot of people said that, yes, okay, the IoT can be hacked, then the information would not be perfect. Yes, I agree with this with this answer from a lot of specialists. However, then you will have another problem, and you need to focus on that problem. But answering your question, yes, it's working, and because, as I said, blockchain is a platform when it needs to have different data, and the data needs to come from somewhere. Okay. What is Blocknative? The Blocknative is the company where I work, sorry. Is this expected for a smart contract to be regulated? How can the risk behind them can be avoided? First question, yes, blockchain is going to be regulated. It is true that nowadays with MiCA in Europe, for example, they are regulating more the crypto world because it's the most common part. And the risk behind them, I don't know which exactly risk do you refer to. Then I cannot answer to that question, sorry. Evelyn, if you can give me more detail of your question, I will try to help. Can you please tell me what are some types of main and difficult smart contracts, like for business case? Yeah, when I say easy smart contract, difficult smart contract, I say, for example, one smart contract can be the IoT gives you a data, and this data you register on the blockchain. Okay, this is for me, as I call, a simple smart contract, where you take the data and you only certify. What is a complex smart contract is, I take the data, I register on the blockchain, and at the same time, the same smart contract will send a notification to the finance department, and this smart contract, for example, will issue a new invoice. And as you see, a lot of different process they will be executed from only one specific data. Then when the smart contract identify the data, they will start executing a lot of different processes in the same smart contract. That's the thing that I call a complex smart contract. As a director of business development, how does the end-to-end process working with a company to acquire a customer? How does the end-to-end process working with 3 companies to acquire a customer? I don't know if I understand properly your question, Dava Labda, but if you are thinking Web3 companies nowadays, they're still a little bit far away from the exactly Web3 use cases. Then when I'm saying how does the end-to-end process, I mean, you have to think not in the B2C, not in the B2C use cases. You have to think in the B2B cases that can be from the moment that you go to supermarket and you're going to buy an apple, you want to know all the traceability from where the materials of the apple had started, which was the origin, and all the different steps from the distributor and all the different participants until it gets to the supermarket. Can we also learn Rust and Substrate? I don't understand your question, sorry. How can we get a remote internship without having experience? Because there is less to no internship in the niche without experience. Yeah, it is true that for developers, this is something very, from my point of view, I think it's not easy at all, because yeah, the smart contract needs to be very precise, but it's you can maybe have an opportunity in specific, maybe I'm not gonna say small companies, I'm gonna say bigger ones that they need to form and to have different skills, and you can start there as not experience. In which business we use blockchain for growth business? I'm not gonna specify in any business. I would say if you find a use case where you can do a B2B2C and you can attract more customers. For example, from my point of view, the agro part could be a grow business, because if you identify your different products and you identify the origin from your products, and the market, they value this, it is value for them, this information, then they would buy you more. And later on also you can have different partnership with suppliers that can help you to grow. Then I'm not gonna say a specific business, but I would say specific use cases. How can we use blockchain technology for transactive energy? At the moment, I only know for blockchain, this part of certification of the green energy. I'm not an expert of energy, then I don't understand what is exactly transactive energy. But as I said, something that the market, from a point of view, something that I'm seeing here, things that people, all the energy sector, they want to really give the opportunity to the customers to understand if all the energy that they are using, it's green, and if it's not green, they would like to know, and this is something that they are trying to focus on the market. Adding to my question, example, human risk, a programming mistake on a contract that for a user might be difficult to identify, if that makes sense. And also, if blockchain is regulated, will it continue being decentralized? Okay, yes, human risk, I understood. Okay, if it can be a human risk, I agree. Then, from my point of view, it won't be difficult to identify, because if you are doing some specific smart contract where money is going through, those smart contracts has to be audited for a third party. Then they will, before it goes to the market, it will be already identified. Then in that case, you can make an error, but it will be corrected before it goes to the market. And yeah, this is blockchain will be regulated, and from my point of view, will continue decentralized. But as every regulation, you will have some part that maybe is not as decentralized as people they would like it, but also sometimes could be very good that the regulation start taking part of it, because a lot of use cases nowadays, they are not taking part and they are not decided to start because there is no regulation behind that. Then they said, okay, I don't have any additional benefits to have on a blockchain. For example, if you want to buy a house, normally you know to go, you have the buyer, the seller, and someone who take faith that is you are buying a house. With the blockchain, I don't need this role. And then, but if blockchain is not regulated, nowadays you continue, you have the obligation to continue to have those third party in front of the buyer and the seller in order to give faith that the house has been sold. My question is that after years huge loss in crypto, the use cases I see right now are private blockchains in the private sector. Also to include good gains based on crypto, I do not see crypto return, but I do see company benefiting from multiple good crypto. And last big question, do you see blockchain evolving or merging with a new technology and see its return in crypto? We are not focused on cryptos, and I'm not focused on that. I have my own opinion regarding the cryptos. The only thing I'm gonna say is, from my point of view, cryptos will continue there. We'll have a parallel life with the digital euro, digital currencies. But apart from that, I'm not an expert. As you can see, all my expertise is more focused on how to use the technology for the business. Yes, all the slides will be shared with you, as I imagine, from the master. No, the example that I use regarding, okay, is the example you have used about the Apple related to VeChain use case? No, I invited here. At the same time I was speaking to you. I have some use cases, but it's not an apple, it's another fruit. But no, I say apple, I could say watermelon or another product. If I want to build digital patient identity management system, which blockchain technology is good for? Public or private or an hybrid? I will have to go deeply in the case, but from my point of view, in a digital identity, we can use private to start doing the basement of the solution, but at the end it has to be public, because it's something that is going to be across the world and across the different across all of us, and the opportunity for us to communicate with your application will be through your mobile phone and through a digital wallet. And you should go to a public one, because it's impossible for you to start giving access to everyone. If you want scalability, in that case, you need to go 100% through the public. But maybe you can do an hybrid depending on how the use case will be performed. Can be defined as a system of transactive energy, can be defined as a system of economic and control mechanisms that allows the dynamic balance of supply and demand across the entire electronic infrastructure, using value as a key operational parameters. This definition, which is the one currently used by NIST, was proposed by them. Yes, blockchain can help that, because blockchain can help all the different participants to give an ecosystem and to give balance between all the energy that is produced and the one that is sold, and you could have the reconciliation from all of them in real time in the same platform. But this kind of use case, believe me, is not something easy that you start doing in a couple of months. It will take a long time of design, a lot of time of thinking, and later on, of course, a long time to perform it. Can you share with us some names of blockchain startup, or maybe we'll get inspired by them and their principles? I have a background in business. Do I need to have knowledge in programming to have a good experience in blockchain? Well, there are a few ones. Well, there are a lot of companies that are doing blockchain. It is true that, for example, in Spain we have Bottom. We have one interesting startup that you want to follow that is more related for the ICO part and NFT part and crypto parties. Bit2Me, also Blocking Pools. Also we have, but these other companies more for the interoperability from the platforms, that is Bottom. Then know all the different startups that are focusing on the same side, on the same topic. But for me, the most for the crypto, I will go to Bit2Me. That is a very interesting startup that they have their own academy, they have their own crypto. It's quite interesting. So data is gathered from IoT, and from where exactly? For Blocknity, for example, from where the data? Okay, I'm not saying the data is not coming to Blocknity. I mean, when I'm doing a use case, for example, when I explain or I try to explain the traceability of the router, the traceability is coming from, for example, from the telco company and the router. You have someone that create the router, the telco who will buy the router to this supplier. The client, that could be you guys, you will buy or you will do a subscription to this telco company, and this subscription, they will allow you to have internet at home or internet at your office, and they will send someone to install your router. Okay. And yeah, in that case, and later on, maybe you are fed up of your telco company, or you want to end the contract or whatever, or the router is broken, and then someone has to come to fix it, and it will go to another supplier to fix it, and it will return to you, or it will return to the markets, because to you they will give you another one. If those participants are different participants, I mean, they are not all of them in the same company. When I'm saying when the data is come from, it comes from applications that can be a mobile phone. For example, the install guy will have an application saying, okay, I'm here in Evelyn house. I have installed the router today, the 17th of October at 5:44 p.m. And he certified that. You as a client, they will give you a QR code, and they will ask you, are you happy with the service, or can you confirm that the router has been installed? You say yes or not. That's why I'm saying that the data is coming from. And in this process, for example, in the reversal logistic that I'm doing in Mexico, this reversal heuristic is from the pills, and the pills, the temperature of the medicine, it's very important depending on the medicine. Then if you have a truck, and the truck has IoT for the temperature, and they will give you the average of the temperature of the truck, he will send you the data, for example, every minute, every second, whatever you program it, and you will take to the blockchain, you will take exactly the data. For example, every 1 minute, they will give you the average of the temperature from the last 10 days. I don't know, this is an example. Then those data is coming. And that's why I'm saying you are taking the data from. The data is coming from someone that is going to the website or application, and he will put the data. He can take the data from an IoT, or also the blockchain is not a substitute, for example, for the SIP of a big company. Then the normal guy from the operation teams will load the data in the SIP application, and the SIP will send to the blockchain. I don't know if I answer to you nor Moaya. Okay, but it's expected that all new blockchain startups will survive, or it is more possible that only a few of them will stay alive, like big tech companies could services. This is not a question for me, but from my point of view, and I don't think all blockchain startups will survive. Of course not, but this is as every business. There would be a lot of companies that will survive, but this is not because of the blockchain. This also will be related to the management of the management of the company. No, thank you. Hey, can you share with me? Yes, I can share with me my LinkedIn profile. Okay, you have it in the chat there. This is my name, my surnames. In Spain, we have 2 different surnames, and you can find me in there.
Sorry, Miguel, you share it with the host and one person in particular.
Sorry. Okay, I will. Everyone. There you can. Oh, sorry, Miguel. There you can find me in the link.
Anyone else has any questions? Or Miguel, you have a last comment, thought?
No, please do not hesitate to contact me on LinkedIn. It would be a pleasure. And Blognative, now we are landing in Nigeria, and why not in other different countries? Then if you have use cases, do not hesitate to call me and I can explain it better.
I think we have one more, if you wouldn't mind.
Hi, Miguel. Can we use blockchain as a database for track and trace live data with different sources and connect? Yes, we can use it, but you will need to, if you are only looking to change your database, I would say no. However, if you want a database where a lot of participants connected, as you say, different participants and different different applications, yes, you can. That's the point of blockchain, because blockchain is a database. In Blognative, do you do internships? That is a good question. This is not for me. This is for my bosses. But yes, we are looking. Sometimes we are looking for them. Then it could be an opportunity, and it is good to know that some of you can be interested.
Awesome. I think we run out of questions. Well, thank you so much, Miguel, for your time, for being here and answering everyone's questions. We look forward to having you again, and also everyone else. Great to see you. Next Masters Extra session for Blockchain 101 will be on Wednesday at 6 p.m. chat. You find the link on Masters app, and we will also send you a reminder on Telegram. Again, thank you, everyone, and looking forward to do it again. Thank you so much, Miguel.
No, thank you all, and thank you very much, all of you. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye. Bye, everyone.